John Jones and Jorge Masvidal threatening retirement to renegotiate their contracts, we're beginning to ask the question, why are these UFC guys not getting paid what they should be getting paid? And it comes down to a couple of differentiators between this sport and a team sport. The first thing is it's an individual sport, not a team sport. In football, if everyone was underpaid, they would just strike and there would be no players to play football. The NFL needs the players. In the UFC, if you try to retire, we're just going to have another guy step in and take the championship fight. We're going to see it with Gilbert Burns. He's going to get a title fight because Jorge Masvidal is going to try to renegotiate his contract. But at the same time, you look at a sport like boxing where it's individual, and it's not the case. These guys are getting paid a ton of money for their fights. Jorge Masvidal is a household name within the UFC community. So why is a guy like that not getting paid his fair share? Also, the UFC is the most intensive sport in terms of like damage, physical damage to your body. You know, you could argue CTE in the NFL and all that, but these fighters are getting CTE as well. They're taking headshot after headshot. I would argue they're taking more damaging headshots than the NFL guys are. But I don't think this is going to resolve itself until either a bunch of guys leave and start their own, which is quite hard to do because they're independent contractors with the UFC, yet they're under contract at the same time and they don't have the right to leave and go elsewhere. But at the same time, if you're under contract and you're an independent contractor, I would leave personally and I would just settle it in court. I would start my own MMA company, promoting fights, signing a bunch of fighters, and we could fight it out in court after I make a bunch of money and I have even more money to fight you with. I can tell you right now, if you're an independent contractor, you would have the right to leave. If you hire someone to work on your air conditioning at your house, you can't say, okay, well, you only can wear this brand of clothing, or you need to be here and here to talk to this person and that person. Like, if you're an independent contractor, you don't work for anyone. You can work for whoever you want. So it's really odd the way it works out like that, but I see this problem continuing until a bunch of guys either leave for Bellator or they start their own. You're going to need a guy like Conor McGregor and a guy like Francis Ngannou to all step away and say, look, if these guys don't get paid, then I'm not going to fight in my next fight. I'm going to pull out and retire. But even if that happens, that's only going to benefit the fighters that are with the UFC at that exact moment. The only way they're going to be able to solve this problem is if they all just drop out and they say, we need to unionize and risk losing their job. But I can tell you right now, the top guys are going to be fine if they do that. They'll be able to go to a Bellator, or like I said, they'll be able to start their own. Until there's a union fighting for fair pay in the UFC, these fighters are just going to continue to be taken advantage of. Because also, like, you don't know what the guy at the top is making. You see Conor McGregor, what do you think he makes a fight? You think he makes $100 million? Because I think he could easily make $100 million per fight. But you look at a guy like who's just coming up, and they might make 60 to show up and 60 to win if they're lucky. So I don't know. It's a tricky situation. Definitely hope that the fighters can get the pay that they deserve eventually. But I'll be interested to see what you guys have to say in the comments. Do you think that they're paid fair, or do you think that they deserve a little bit more of the percentage that they're bringing in? Because right now it's about 18% that they're getting from what they're bringing in. So that's all I have for this one. And until next time, peace.